In the lineup who can handle the ball. I expect a wide open game from them.
And back to lead the San Diego Legion.
I expect the wide open game from them.
Wow.
Are 11 and 15 jerseys respectively.
And we are joined by the head coach of the And a very good afternoon from sunny Southern California. We're in San Diego bringing you round 2 of this inaugural season of the U.S. Major League Rugby competition. I'm Mark Stabina, and joining me is the man, the legend of USA Rugby, the one and only Brian Visit. Now, Brian, what can we expect from the San Diego Legion and the Utah Warriors today?
Well, things did not go according to plan for the Legion in their MLR opener last week in Seattle. They had a shaky scrum all day long. It resulted in 3 penalty tries against. They also lost one of their top players in Mike Te'o to injury. The Warriors, they make their MLR debut today. They come in full of confidence after putting 80 points up in their last preseason game last week. They too lost a big player in Josh Whippy, but they have some big bruisers in the lineup who can handle the ball. I expect a wide open game from them.
And back to lead the San Diego Legion team today, after suffering an injury in practice before the Seattle game, is Nate Augsburger. Expect to see some sniping runs and fierce defense from Captain Courageous today. And Devon Short, only 19 years of age. He only learned to play rugby just over a year ago, and now he is a professional rugby player. He will go all day. Dylan Audsley wears the number 15 jersey. Capped twice for the Eagles already. MVP of the collegiate season, playing out of St. Mary's. He can play anywhere in the back line. Classy unit. And the San Diego Legion lineup, we have an experienced forward pack. They'll be looking to redeem themselves after some scrummaging problems last week. But look for Cam Dolan, number 8, the vice captain, leading the forwards. Incumbent US number 8. And tag leader replaces Ben Seamer at number 10.
And some of the Warriors players to keep your eye on today starts with Angus McClellan in the number 3 jersey. He was one of the stars of the U.S. age grade team in South America last year before making his debut with the Eagles this year. A solid scrummager who put an 80-minute effort. Matt Jensen's going to be the main target in the Warriors line-out. 6'8", he's a big target in the middle. Has put in some real good time with the U.S. Eagle team as well. And the skipper of the Warriors is center, former BYU player Paul Litsiki. The former NFL fullback made his Eagles debut at this year's ARC and scored a try on one of his first touches in an Eagles jersey. Look for his hard run to open holes. Others to watch is number 1, Alex Tucci, a powerful runner with ball in hand. Lance Williams is a high-energy Lucy who provides support to powerful number 8, Saya Ohila. The veteran fly-half Kurt Morath makes his debut for the Warriors. He's the complete package at 10. and Fets Vanacola and Nata Loti are danger men in the 11 and 15 jerseys respectively.
And we are joined by the head coach of the Utah Warriors team, Alf Daniels. Now, Alf, you've had 3 matches in the lead up to today's game, 2 losses, 1 big win. How satisfied are you with the preparations?
Yeah, look, pre-season games are always good. They allow you to see your strengths and weaknesses. We're aware that we've got a lot of things that we want to work on still, but we're comfortable that we've got some strengths in our team that we'll be able to show out there today, and hopefully they'll pay off.
Well, Alf, thank you so much for your time. We wish you the best of luck and the team as well. Folks, don't go away. We're just around the corner. We'll see how it all pans out in round 2 of the MLR.
Were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And Major League Rugby is brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. America's finest city runs on Dunkin'. Stop by in downtown San Diego or drive through in National City. IHOP, the best way to do breakfast all day. 22 friendly San Diego locations to serve you. Major League Rugby is brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. America's finest city runs on Dunkin'. Stop by in downtown San Diego or drive through in National City. IHOP, the best way to do breakfast all day. 22 friendly San Diego locations to serve you. And by 100 Proof, Wolf Park, San Diego's favorite new home for great food and handcrafted cocktails. All right, we are underway. Round 2, game 3, with Utah Warriors kicking off to the hosts, San Diego Legion. Exciting stuff here. San Diego having already played and lost to Seattle last week, but this is the first match of pro rugby for the Utah Warriors. And Brian, that one's gone out. A little bit of pressure under the hosts right now.
Yeah, that was good pressure by the scrum half, the captain, Nate Augsburger. Put pressure on that clearing kick by Kurt Maroff deep in his own end. So this will be the first opportunity for the San Diego Legion. They're going to line out Cam Dolan's been a main target for this Legion team throughout the MLR preseason and season. That time it goes to Devin Short, though, at the back.
Short, the youngster. Bringing it forward. Driving now, Legion. Here at Torero Stadium. Still going. That's great work from the forwards. As the crowd gets behind them, they're all the way up to 5 meters from the try line. Augsburger. Dummying now. Saliba. Augsburger comes in to drive. They're 2 meters away. Pick and drive to the right. Only 1 meter away now, the Legion. Augsburger to Dolan. He's nearly over the line. He's held up. Augsburger digs in, rallies his troops to Alamaka. And it's try time early, only after 1 minute and 35, just the start that the home team wanted.
Oh, you got to believe that this forward pack really has something to prove after really kind of getting embarrassed last week. 3 penalty tries allowed against them. The scrum really suffered in that, and that affects all the forward play. So you knew they had a mission all week long. Come out at the start of this game and really take over, and that's exactly what they did. They had a great driving maul all the way from the 22-meter line after that line out, and nearly got a try themselves a couple of different times, and then it was the big man, Soni Tamalaka, that got the try to get this Legion team on the scoreboard first. Good start by the Legion.
See in the number 10 jersey replacing Ben Sema is tag leader. Formality, so that extends the Legion's lead to 7 points to 0.
What a fantastic start that was. As you see the referee, Fourier at the midfield. He's going to get this restarted with play just 2 minutes into this contest, and the Legion just like that on the scoreboard.
Tongan international Kurt Morath will restart. Sends it high and long. His opposite number takes it and relieves some of the pressure. Not very happy with where the touch judge has marked the line out.
Yeah, I think tag leader probably wanted to get a little more distance on that kick. It's similar to what happened for the Legion, and now it's going to be the Warriors with that line out just outside their 22. Look for Big Matt Jensen in the middle of that line. Yep, there he goes up high. Oh, nicely contested by his Eagle teammate, Cam Dolan, that swats it back towards the Legion.
Side entry.
Penalty, however, after winning that line out against the Legion. Side entry. Here the referee signaling.
And Mark, that's going to be an interesting battle all day long if it's Jensen against Cam Dolan. These guys know each other well. They're Eagle teammates, so I'm sure it's kind of a one-on-one battle with them, a personal battle. They want to up each other, and that's great competition. And this will be a good opportunity here for the Warriors to get on the board. Just outside the 22, they bring it back, trying to get that penalty kick, get themselves on the scoreboard. It wasn't a good start to your MLR debut for the Warriors. They gave up a try just 2 minutes in. But talking to Coach Alf Daniels, he's very confident about his team, and you know, he's a nice guy to spend a lot of time with us before kickoff today. Just talk about his team and all the things they have coming up, and just the positive attitude and the community that's really getting behind this team. They've had 3 preseason games, 9,000 at the first one, 5,000, 3,100 last weekend, and they got a brand new 5,000 seat stadium. So the community there is really supportive. And Alf said, you know, a lot of these people don't even know about rugby, but they're just getting behind this community effort, so it's great to see.
They'll know about it soon enough. Morath, can he put his team on the board?
I think that stayed out to the left. You heard the crowd give a little bit of a cheer when that sailed wide left. So the Legion continued to hold on to that 7-0 lead.
Tag leader with the ball. 22-meter restart as a result of penalty kick missing the posts. Tag leader played some rugby for Connacht. He's had a run of injuries. Finally makes his start. Qualifies to play for the Eagles in August of this year, but now we have Josh Anderson bringing the ball back just over the halfway line. Long pass from Nichols. Almost to the midfield. Nichols again finds Marath. Back pass to the massive number 12 and captain Lasike.
Anthony Saliber passed his first test with that first tackle attempt on the big man. He is a huge unit in the midfield.
Massive man. A wayward pass. Finds itself back into the hands of Tanata Lauti. Stepping, still going. Gets the ball away. Now out to the wing. It's Anderson again. Might be held up. Some strong defense, but reinforcements come in to drive. You need to get him to ground now. It's a maul, and they've held on. So it will be a turnover. San Diego Legion ball.
Yeah, full credit to Ryan Mattias, one of those players for the San Diego Legion team. You can see his teammates giving a pat. He's the last one to get up. Chris Terori gives him a little pat too, but great to see Ryan Mattias back on the field of play. Just held him up in the tackle. It wasn't coming out. Keep your eye on number 11. It did an outstanding job with a little bit of help from his teammates, but Ryan Mattias really got in there, kept that Warrior ball carrier up in the air just long enough for the referee to award the San Diego Legion the scrum put-in. And again, here's what we're going to look at all day long as far as the Legion are concerned. How is this scrum? Is it going to be stable ball?
Set.
Second effort, they pop in the front row.
For both teams.
I think it's going to be a reset, though. I think it's still going to be Legion put in. Let's see what the referee signals here. Yep, I think they're just going to reset it. Pat Blair, the hooker, popped right out of that scrum. The pressure in that front row, folks, if you're new to rugby, is immense. Let's take another look at Blair. I mean, it looks like a cork coming out of the middle of that scrum. Two's head, there's the pressure, pop, the cork has come off. But it was a more stable scrum than what we saw last week in that start against Seattle. And you can tell they've worked hard on this all week long. And Cam Dolan, the number 8 at the back. Yep, just good stable ball right there. And they earn a penalty. How about that? They start that game off, Mark, with that big drive, and now you got Tony Purpura in that front row. Purpura, you got Pat Blair, he comes up a little slow, but how about that? All the backs come up to greet him, give him a little high five. That means a lot to this whole team, and especially that forward pack. There's a lot of pride in those forwards. Let's take another look at it. There's just the pressure in the front row. You can see Purpura just getting that drive going forward. And the referee awards that full arm penalty. A good start by the Legion forward pack. That line out all the way down to the 5-meter line. So great touch finder by tag leader.
Keep the line, keep the line. Keep the line, guys.
Well, it is all San Diego at the moment. Nearly 9 minutes of play gone. 7 points on the board. And a scrum penalty to boot. Line out taken.
Hold on.
It's Devon Short bringing that one down. Another tight drive from the forward pack. They're full of confidence as they inch their way toward the try line. Still going, San Diego. Can they go all the way? They're down, and yes, they can. It's try time. 2 tries in 9 minutes for the Legion.
2 tries by props, too. How about that? Talk about coming back. Tony Purpura, another U.S. Eagle player on the San Diego Legion team. He's the one who gets credit for that dot down. But another well-driven ball off that line out. And Nate Augsburg, look at number 9. You got to have a good field marshal at the back of that ruck in that mall area, and Nate Augsburger leading his big forwards. And then it was Tony Purpura that dots down, so another good try by this Legion forward pack.
Well, Brian, I wonder if this Utah team is just taking for granted or underestimating this San Diego forward pack after what they saw in their first game against Seattle, maybe taking them a little lightly.
Well, I think it'd probably be easy to do. You know, if you're seeing that happen, a team gets 3 penalty tries scored against them or judged against them, I mean, you're going to be pretty confident coming into this game. But these guys, you can tell they worked really hard this last week in their set pieces, both line out and in their scrum situations. And that kick's going to go a little bit wide right, but it's still going to be the Legion leading 12-0. And now the key for the Legion, if you're a Legion fan, you just don't let up. I mean, you want to keep your forward pack just going Again, still doing all that good stuff. How about one more look at that forward drive, though? And again, just great communication in there. The ball's got to get to the tail of that driving maul, and there you see Purpura at the back wearing that 3 jersey, and he saw that try line, able to dot it down. A prop's dream.
Morath restarts into the hands of Devon Short. As I mentioned earlier, only 19 years of age. What a great occasion for that young man. Comes out to the open side. A little bit of obstruction there, but play on, says the referee, and he's held up by the strong tackle of Lasiki. Finally goes down. Augsburger calls his forwards around the corner. Some more strong defence, but good drive from the number 5. Albert Harmon, likes to be called Jay. Augsburger with the box kick. Matthias gives chase, misses the tackle. Morath looks for support. He's finally brought down by JP Duplessis in the number 12 jersey. To the middle, little drop pass. And now San Diego with the counter-attack. Nguyen pulls it in miraculously. Here comes Audsley around the corner in support. Over the 40-metre line. Legion now with advantage. There goes Augsburger. Loves those sniping runs. Acting scrum half is Harmon. Out to Sione, to Alamaka. Still with possession, but it will come back. No, advantage over, and it is a penalty for holding on against the Legion.
Yeah, great tackle by Paul Lasiki in that midfield for the Warriors. That's what cut that attack down quickly and earned that penalty for the Warriors. But I tell you, this has been some really good play by the San Diego Legion. I've seen them on a couple of occasions now, and this is the best 10-minute segment I've seen these guys put together. So I think they really were, there might have been embarrassment from that last game. And you never want to be embarrassed, especially with your peers. And it looks like these guys have just put in a ton of work, maybe an attitude change during the week, but it looks like a different Legion team out there today. And it's still early going, mind you, but if they can keep it up, it would be really good for this home crowd to enjoy their first win in the MLR.
Throw goes awry. Not straight, even though it went to the opposition side. It would come back. Another line out.
Yeah, and one of the comments Alf Daniels told us, he said that, they've only played 3 preseason games, so they do expect to, improve as he said he'd like to have a few more runs under his belt, but he sees improvement week in and week out, and he thinks it's going to continue to be that way. He'd like to see a couple more games if they had that opportunity in the preseason.
Matthias seeking some medical attention in back play. Just goes over the top, but comes back to Augsburger. He steps, beats 1, beats 2. Little flick pass out to Nguyen. The no-look pass. Fancy stuff for this home crowd. They're loving it at the moment. Leader. Up to Duplessis. Good straight running. Now Leader again. Flat pass to Audsley. Strong defense coming in from Utah. Augsburger under pressure. Can he get some support? Lasike straight over the top, but off his feet. What will the referee call? Looks like he's been taken over the sideline, so I dare say that we will have a line-out to Utah.
I tell you, Nate Augsburger, he was in a cyclone of about 4 Warrior jerseys there. He did well to recover that ball. It squirts loose. Watch, it's not tidy play here by this Legion team. Augsburger's the only black jersey in sight, and then all these Warriors converge on him, so they bundle him with touch. Not too bad of a result for this Legion team. Augsburger, he is getting the hands on his ball all day long so far.
To Rory for the Legion. Ambling up to their 40-metre line. Lateral passes go back behind the half. That's a high and loose pass by the number 13, Anthony Saliba. So squandering a good attacking opportunity there, Brian.
Yeah, careless pass by Saliba. He's just got to take more time. He almost looked too nonchalant on that pass. Tried to get to that speedy man, Nguyen, on the outside. Maybe they've lost a step or two over the years, but I tell you, when he was at his prime, he was an unbelievable sight in the open field.
Still a step or 20 faster than us, Brian, I'm sure.
Yes.
And is coming through the middle is Utah over the advantage line now. Oh, pass nearly intercepted and finds the hands of the fullback. Brought down well. And number 13, Anthony Saliba. Penalty, quick tap. The Warriors nearly up to the 22, and now they get over the 22-meter line of the Legion. Numbers out to the left. Marath. Good strong tackle coming in, loose pass. Advantage was being played, however, for a high tackle, and the scrum half will go quickly again. Joseph Nichols raising the pace of this game, trying to catch the home team. Napping. Marath. McClellan. Same way for Utah. Marath injecting into the back line. Finds Kenny Scott. He's held up. Kenny. It's a maul now. Needs to get to ground. And they will hold on to that ball, so it will possibly be a turnover. In comes Utah. And the ball has been turned over by the Legion. You can see Utah players just backing up, expecting the kick. And they're going to run it out for a couple of phases at least. Cam Dolan just settling things down.
Use it, guys.
Leader giving instructions, and Augsburger puts in the box kick with very little angle. It comes up to the 22, so a good pressure relieving kick from the captain.
Yeah, it was a good turnover by the San Diego team down deep in their own end, and you saw that little play by Cam Dolan. They just wanted a little bit more angle on that kick to kick into touch. He still didn't have much, but Augsburger did well with what he had. There's Jensen. Nichols almost had that little seam right up the outside of that line out.
No way through for Nichols. But they'll pick and drive now. Utah over the 22. Showing a lot of patience. Nichols out to the big number 8 and vice captain Uhila. Marath finds the bustling number 12 and well put down by his opposite number as well. Back to the open side. That's Jensen. Now, like a piston action, they return it down to the short side. Slowing things down. Good defense from the Legion, holding this Utah team out. Stepping off the right foot was Jared Whippy. Coming all the way around the back, using his pace, is the left winger, Vinacolo. And that's a long passage of play, so fantastic defense from San Diego in their red zone there, Brian.
Yeah, and you saw how dangerous Vanicola was. Fatu Vanicola, when he had the ball in hand, he was just looking for a little bit of seam. Didn't run straight, but he almost outran that Legion defense on the outside. Take another look at it. Make sure there's no obstruction by his teammates, but then Leader just got a little collar hang on him, and that forced that ball into touch where it's going to be a San Diego throw. Again, still going to put the pressure on Cam Dolan. Again, he's the main line-out target for this Legion team.
Blair finds Mahoney as the Legion exercise their exit strategy with Leader. It's a good kick from Leader, bringing it up to the 40-meter line.
Yeah, the goal is to not play in your end of the field, and that was a great little touch finder there by Leader, and again off that line out take by this Legion team. Now they're looking to spoil. Look, they're trying to throw Devin Short up at the front of that line out, trying to make an errant throw here or possibly a steal.
That's again straight into the hands of Augsburger, and now it's with Harmon. Too many line out mistakes at the moment. Great run from Tuolamaka. Numbers to the right. Leader puts it on the toe. Nguenya, here he comes. And that's well fielded from the fullback for Utah. Lauti out to Anderson. Plenty of action here in Torero Stadium. End-to-end stuff. As the Utah Warriors on the left of your screen attempt to bring it out from danger. Marath, high, stays in the field of play. Leader will take this just over the halfway line. Returns a kick, finds some space, and that goes toward the sideline. Lovely little kick, very educated boot of tag leader.
Yeah, you love to have an educated fly half like that. And both these teams have really, really experienced fly halves. And he saw there was nobody back deep, did leader, and he just put a nicely weighted kick into touch. It's going to be a Warriors throw, but that pressure is right back on them. And we've seen them have, they've struggled in the line out in this game so far. And once again, it goes over the top.
Sure does, Brian. Sure that would be the topic of discussion at half-time as Morath sends it long. This time he finds space. Audsley has to get back, field it. Audsley puts it high. It's angling toward the sideline, and out it goes on the full. So a kicking error from Dylan Audsley, the fullback for the Legion.
Yeah, and for those new to rugby, if you're in front of the 22-meter line and you kick it straight into touch, it comes back. It's going to be a Warriors throw where that ball went into touch.
We'll be right back in 60 seconds, folks. Don't go anywhere.
Forget to stop the time ball. Good. I won. It's 1 minute, yes. Bon? Bon, John? Good? Ouais. De quoi? Okay. Okay.
Welcome back to picturesque Torero Stadium in the beautiful San Diego. San Diego Legion currently lead the visitors. Utah Warriors 12 points to 0. And what do you make of the game so far, Brian?
I tell you, it was a mission of this San Diego Legion forward pack to come out firing on all cylinders, and they've done that. Now the Warriors, they had their early jitters the first 5 minutes. They didn't play that well, but now it's a more even game. Now they're just trying to take of any advantage they have. Still, their set piece, the lineout has not been very good. They won that ball, but it wasn't precise.
Jensen to the 40-meter line. Nichols comes in, has a dig around. Ball is stuck. A pile of bodies, and it's a penalty for not rolling away. You see,
I know, but they can play in your 7 comp.
COC Mahoney was the man who
away,
infringed
number 4 black.
Yeah, it wasn't the man who came in, Devin Short, that got penalized for that. It was Mahoney that for not rolling away from that tackled ball carrier. And now again, see, this is what you want to do for Utah. You kind of weathered that storm. You gave up a couple of tries, but now it's back to, even Stevens here. And they just got to take a little bit more care of their line-out ball because they have some explosive backs back there. We've seen a little bit, just a glimpse of them.
That's a better line-out for Utah. Morath. It's Kenny Scott rampaging into the Legion defense. It's gone over the head of Morath and straight into the massive man, Lasike, the captain. Same way for the Warriors.
Release black!
It's Corey Olsen.
Line!
Forwards line up back to this open side. As McClellan has a crack. Now Morath goes slightly behind him, but lovely pass out to the 13. Now it's with Anderson again. He's had plenty of touches. Here comes Williams, charging up toward the 5-meter line for Utah. No advantage being played, and finally comes back for a penalty for Utah.
Yeah, even though the San Diego Legion stole that ball, the referee was playing advantage. He's going to bring it back to that original penalty against the San Diego. Cam Dolan was called with the penalty. And now let's see what Paul Lasike says. Let's go for that line out. I think we're going to win this one. Let's try to get a driving ball. We've seen it twice happen to us. Maybe we can get one here now as well. And there's a good look at that veteran scrum half. Playing his first game for the Warriors. Coach Alf Daniels said this guy is the complete package, silky skill set, sound decision-making organizer. talking about Kurt Morath.
Better line out for Utah. Coming around the corner in a little set piece move. Lance Williams very close to the line. 3 meters out for the Warriors. Some sturdy defense coming in. That was the youngster, Devon Short. And they pile in, slowing the ball down. Still good defense. Scrambling forward. That was McClellan again.
I don't think that ball's coming back. He's going to give the scrum, though, to Utah, putting the pressure on going forward. Ryan Mattias was in there keeping that ball up in the tackle.
Nothing is clear, guys.
He said nothing is clear. That's why it's going to be a Warrior scrum.
If ever they needed to be on their scrum game, San Diego, it's right now, Brian.
Yeah, for the last 10 minutes, the Warriors have pretty much put the pressure back on this Legion team. They haven't gotten any points from it, though. That's 2 or 3 times they've been 5 meters out. But now they have a scrum. It's been lineouts down deep in the past, so let's see if they can do anything with scrum ball. Early push by the U.S., or by the San Diego Legion team, I'm sorry.
Your mark is here, and I come to the other side. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah, just a little bit premature was the Legion on this contact. And see McClellan, he just popped out trying to draw the penalty possibly. But this is where you, if you're a San Diego Legion back rower, you're really hanging on to this scrum, and this is when you can open things up if you're a Warrior, because all those flankers are going to be so concerned about keeping the drive out. This is when a number 8 or a back row move would really be beneficial.
The Warriors through Uhila, the vice captain. He's brought down 7 meters from the try line. Here come the Warriors. Another pick and drive out to the open side. That was Jensen. See the tactic now for the Warriors. They're going to use their big men close to the ruck, even if it takes 20 phases. For another pick and drive, bodies everywhere. Warriors 3-4 meters from the try line. Legion gather the troops, build a wall. To the right. Now a meter from the line. Here they come, the Warriors again. The ball is stuck in there. You see it, number 2, Pat Blair coming in, upsetting things. Mahoney falls over the ruck, making a nuisance of himself, but Utah still with the ball. Might have lost it there. The number 7, did he keep hold of it? That was Lance Williams. Ball comes back. Here comes Nichols. Looks right, looks left. Goes over the try line. He spins out the tackle from Devon Short and over the try line. So finally rewarded are the Utah Warriors for all that pressure.
In case you're wondering, there is no limit to the amount of recycling ball these Warrior team could do. And Ben Nichols, look at how close Lance Williams gets to dotting this ball down. Nate Augsburger did a really good driving him back, but then with all those players committed to that ruck, Ben Nichols did a really good job. He almost got knocked in by the San Diego Legion into that try zone. Joe Nichols, rather. Ben on the bench. Joe Nichols wearing that 9 jersey, so good reward for the Utah Warriors finally getting on this scoreboard after some really good pressure on that San Diego line.
Too much pressure, in fact, for San Diego Legion. Valiant defense, but can't help thinking that they allowed Utah to get all the way down with some poor displays of discipline, if you remember earlier, Brian. Just getting a little sloppy there, probably complacent, 12-0 lead, plenty of confidence. You take the foot off the pedal against Utah and you see what happens.
Yeah, and I think the Utah Warrior forward pack had a little bit of point to prove as well, because the Legion drove over for a couple of tries and they wanted to get on that scoreboard themselves. They wanted to create that opportunity, and they did so, and that conversion attempt by Morath is good. So it's just a 5-point game now, 12-7, with about 10 minutes left in this first half. It's been entertaining. We've seen a little bit of everything from both these sides. Started out the Legion, the first 10 minutes was all theirs, and then these last 10 or 15, it's been pretty much the Utah Warriors putting the pressure on. Still anybody's ball game.
San Diego Legion fans enjoying the spectacle. Plenty of cheers coming from all over the ground, particularly the two beer gardens at either end. It's a carnival atmosphere here today. Torero Stadium, home of course of University of San Diego Toreros. As the Warriors bring it back to their 22-meter line, running it out of the red zone. Nichols. Back this time to Jared Whippy. Haven't seen too much of Jared Whippy today. It's a good kick from him, sending Leader all the way back over his 40-meter line. Audsley has time to bring the ball in, back to the right. Is met by a strong two-man tackle. Leader comes in to support. Numbers to the right. They've got some space. Dolan now to the center. Saliba. It's intercepted, but it's not.
That should be an intentional knockdown. Yeah, it's going to be a full arm penalty. Just a little bit sooner on that pass, and the San Diego Legion were in the clear. Yeah, you can hear some of the crowd wanting a yellow card for that offense. The referee said no, it's just going to be a full arm penalty for the Legion. Nate Augsburger trying to decide what to do. Gives it to Leader, put it down inside that 22-meter line. Let's see if the lineout can do more damage. But you talked about Jared Whippy talking to Alf Daniels earlier. Oh, here's another break again. Watch that pass, or watch now, there's the attempt. Yeah, definitely intentional knock-on by Utah. We'll come back to that Whippy moment after this lineout. But Pat Blair's been pretty spot on with his lineout throws. He's been involved with USD Sevens program for a number of years. Still down at the OTC. There's a good look at the hooker. Been around a long time. And there's that take Cam Dolan again, the big man in the middle.
Strong set piece so far for the home team. Augsburger fires it out to Leader. Sends 14. Saliba on a run, still going. Augsburger comes in. 22-meter line now. Ball goes back. Still down, but referee saw a little knock. He'll blow it up. So just a little miscommunication there, it looked like, Brian, between the forwards.
I'm not sure if it was knocked on. It looked like it went backwards. You could saw a couple of the San Diego Legion players. They didn't really think it went forward, but the referee was in pretty good position there. He said it did. So it's going to be a Utah Warrior put in. Yeah, that looked promising for the San Diego Legion. They got the ball all the way on this left-hand flank and had a lot of room in that midfield. They just couldn't handle, as you said, Mark. I think just maybe a little bit of miscommunication between two forwards. Nobody wanted them, they both wanted it, and I think that's resulted in that knock-on.
So it will be the 26-year-old Joseph Nichols to feed the scrum for Utah. Sends it back to Marath. Drops it onto the boot, doesn't find touch, so it'll be Audsley to bring it into the middle. Ngwenya comes in to support. He shapes, throws the ball out to the right. And now we have a counter-attack, making it all the way over to the 40-meter line. It's Saliba. He's been involved plenty of times in this match. Numbers out to the left and some space. Strong tackle coming in from Lasike. That's what he had to do on that occasion. He was heavily outnumbered. But still, with the Legion. Little left foot box kick from Augsburger. Nearly gets away there, Marath. And the offload has just been battered down and back into the hands of the Legion. Plenty of possession in this first half for San Diego. As Harmon now just over the 50-meter line. Brought down, the Legion slow it down. Dolan comes in. Kicks it back to Augsburger, now to Leader. Sends it high across field to 50-50. Comes down with Utah. That's Whippy coming in. Cleaning things up. Looking a little flat now in attack, Utah. Perhaps they are tired. 35 minutes gone. Lasike taking some pressure off his forward pack. Nice little run and offload there. I can't quite hold on to it. Matt Jensen, but better play from Utah around the ruck.
Yeah, good tight interchange by the forwards for this Utah team. I think it was Mahoney that got pinged for the San Diego Legion. Yep, the referee pointed at him just then. So now decision time here. Not a whole lot of time left in this first half. They're going to try to put a 3. Now it looks like Marath is going to go for touch here. Trying to set up that line out. It worked last time.
It's a great kick from Marath. Positioning his team all the way down deep into San Diego territory. We're about 12 meters from the try line. Great attacking opportunity. If they can get some clean line out, that's better from Utah after a shaky start with their lineouts. The ensuing drive. Utah now inching. Balls at the back. This looks ominous for the visitors. Legion coming in, trying to do their best to upset the drive. They finally brought it down. Back line is spread. Plenty of distance between the centers. Let's see what Marath does. Sends it short to the big man. Numbers get around in support. Whippy throws the arm out. He's brought down eventually just over the 5-meter line and loses the ball in the process. So San Diego Legion survive a Utah Warriors onslaught.
Yeah, and you can see how happy this Legion defense is. They really weathered the storm there. First from the line-out drive, and then in the open play, Whippy taken on by 2 players. Dylan Audsley, I think he's the one that forced that knock on Yes in that tackle. So it's going to be the Legion put in. But Jared Whippy is folks all the way from Fiji here. They thought they're going to be seeing Josh and Jared Whippy in this contest, but unfortunately Josh broke his leg last week in that last preseason game. And again, he is one of the stars of this Warriors squad. Had 26 points in that match before he got injured. So we wish him the best of luck for a speedy recovery. And welcome to America to the Whippy parents.
Mrs. Whippy, Mr. Whippy. Australian viewers will be probably chuckling at the moment. That's a well-known brand of ice cream, Mr. Whippy.
Oh, how about that? Short arm. Might have been feeding the scrum. Yes, Nate Augsburger gets called. You got to put that, if you're new to rugby, the scrum half, the number 9's got to put it straight into that scrum. They said it was not straight. That's why they got a short arm penalty.
So Utah now 5 points down.
Away, Black!
Looking to equalize and potentially take the lead with this passage of play. This is what they've done most of the game, this far from the line, just forward runner, pick and drive. They're setting up to do it again. Here it comes. San Diego need to be strong in defense. Looks like it's made its way over the line, but held up, so it'll come back for another scrum.
And it's still going to be the Warriors put in. When you cross that try line, you got to get downward pressure. The San Diego Legion players prevented that from being grounded, but it's still going to be a scrum to the Warriors. Let's take another look. And we've seen this scene a lot in this first half. The San Diego Legion defense on their own try line trying to repel this Warriors attack. They've done it repeatedly, but now they're going to be asked one more time on this scrum as we only have about 2 or 3 minutes left in this first half. In this next pickup, it's going to go over the try line, but it's going to be held up. And here it is right here. The referee, great field position or awareness by the referee Corvier. And now it's back to live action with another scrum.
Nichols. Oh, the big number 8, too easy. It was a mere formality. Fasaya Uhila, the vice captain for the Warriors, and they have leveled the scores here at Torero Stadium.
Yeah, that did look too easy. I think they were expecting a drive again, maybe a 5-meter pushover try attempt. You can see the flankers just a little bit slow. Devin Short slow getting off that scrum, and there was no way that Leader was going to be able to handle the big man with a head of steam and just a couple of meters out. Once he got by Short, it was going to be an impossible ask for Leader, and that's going to tie this game with a pretty easy conversion to follow right in front of the goalpost. So that's a good reply. The San Diego Legion gets off to that quick 12-0 lead mark, but little by little, this Warrior team has been chipping away, and putting the pressure back on this Legion team. And now it's even Steven with this conversion attempt to follow.
Perhaps a little bit of inexperience there from the 19-year-old Devon Short, as you mentioned, a little slow to break. And obviously the big number 8 for Utah, capitalizing on that inexperience. But he will learn his lessons, Devon Short, from all reports.
1 minute, guy. 1 minute.
He is a fantastic talent, tireless worker.
And you heard the referee, 1 more minute left in this first half, so still playing on.
27 more.
Tag leader with the ball. San Diego find themselves behind for the first time in this game. There's the try scorer. He's a big man, hard to put down. It's Utah run it out of their zone. A loose pass from the number 1 straight to the ground, but fortuitous bounce. Oh, and that's a strong tackle which dislodged the ball on Lasike. So the Legion have an opportunity now before the break to get back into the lead. And Nguyen, first receiver. Duplessis, so good in his feet, still going Duplessis. The Legion now with numbers to burn out to the right. Oh, he had plenty of numbers, he held on. Pat Blair still with the ball. Augsburger crawling his way to the 5-meter line. You can hear the crowd getting behind the home team. Dolan flicks it out the back. Purpura. Ball slows down yet again, allows the Utah defense to reset. San Diego giving Utah a taste of their own medicine. Mahoney still going. Is he held up? Gets the ball away. Just over the 5-meter line. Augsburger digs in. Dolan steps. Strong defense coming in from Utah. As they reset, Leader wants the ball. He has a back line set out. Great hands out to Audsley. What's he going to do? He steps, he beats one, comes back on the outside. He's brought down eventually. It may have been turned over, advantage being played, no releasing, so they have advantage. Now, San Diego, what will they do? Bring it back toward the midfield. Augsburger pointing. He wants numbers. Strong run. And he reaches out with that long arm, but pulls it back in. Can't quite get over the line.
He's going to bring it back. I think there's a knock on there. And he's going to bring it back to that penalty against the Utah Warriors for not releasing the tackle player. Take a breath, Mark. That was great play by the San Diego Legion team. Some really wonderful recycling. Oh, I thought Mattias was going to take a quick tap there, but they're going to go for the line out, it looks like. Leader's going to kick the touch, yep. And again, there's going to be a line out. When you kick the touch on a penalty, that line out is going to take place. So the San Diego Legion, they scored 2 or 3 tries. They scored a couple of tries from these early drives in the first 5 minutes.
And Brian, speaking to quickly the psychological difference between going into the halftime break at potentially 19 points to 14 as opposed to trailing by 2 points.
Yeah, it's a huge moment of the game. You're right, Mark. I mean, this could turn the game these next couple of moments here. There's the lineup. They got that first part right. And now the drive. This is where they scored 2 drives. They brought it down, did they not? I'm not sure. I don't see the referee with his arm out, but he's going to say play on. He cannot bring down a maul. That's a dangerous play.
San Diego, last play of the half. Oh, he's just brought down. That was Saliba. He's had his hands on the ball plenty of times this match. So well involved. Some good running. Still with San Diego. Out to Devon Short, the youngster. Still going. It's the forwards come around the corner. Augsburger spots a player out to the left. It's Mattias. Still going. Diving over the top. There's Saliba. Again, he's had about 12 touches at least. Slows down again. This is riveting stuff on the edge of our seats here at Torero Stadium. Last play of the half. San Diego inches away from going into the break, leading the match. Mahoney. Was he holding on?
Play rugby, advantage.
Advantage again for San Diego, so they have a trick up their sleeve. Out to the right, to Rory. He's brought down. Out to the right again, and Ozzy comes in, tries to get back to the number 10 leader. Advantage again, so it will remain with San Diego. They're going to throw some caution to the wind, sending it out to the right. Little flick pass out from leader to the youngster short, but he's driven over the sideline. Did he get it down? He did. That was miraculous. I thought for sure he'd been taken out. What a try from Devon Short, and San Diego go into this half leading the match just the way they started.
He might have hit that cone on the end goal or on the goal line, the try line. That might have been it. But what a play by the San Diego Legion team. I'm not sure what phase of ball that was, 30, 40, who knows. But finally they get rewarded for all that pressure on the outside. How about the little flick pass right there by leader, and then good strong running. Yeah, I think he must have hit that pylon. You saw Chris Asmus, the AR over there. You could see him shaking his head, giving the nod to the referee Corvier to say the try does count. And wow, that was exciting stuff right at the end of the half. We're 5 minutes into injury time right now, Mark, in this first half. So the San Diego Legion, they started with, I think it was about the 38-minute mark when they had possession, 39-minute mark, and just kept that pressure on, just like the Warriors did. It looks like a Warrior player is slow to get up in that end goal area as well. There was a lot of pressure put on that Warriors team as leader tries to add 2 more here.
Aren't they getting their money's worth? The fans that have come out in droves today. Oh, just out to the right of the post, so they will not extend the lead, but still, they go in leaders at halftime. The hosts, San Diego. And we have the head coach of San Diego Legion, Rob Hoadley, with us. Rob, what does that mean to the team scoring and taking the lead as opposed to going into the sheds trailing by 2 points?
Yeah, it's critical, obviously, that we took the advantage of the opportunity we had at the end of the half there. I think we've really let the game slip away. The last half, the last 20 minutes, we gave away a lot too much field position. I think we gave them 7 launches in our 22, just through penalties, soft penalties conceded, and poor decision making by our drivers on halfway. So we just got to put the ball in behind them, pressure them and strangle them, and I think we can get the result in the second half.
And Rob, what's the message at halftime to your boys?
As I said, we've got to cut out the turnovers on halfway, cut out the soft penalties within 3 phases, and the game looks a lot different when we're playing in their half as opposed to defending in our half for long stretches.
Well, thanks a lot for your time, Rob. Best of luck for the second half. Go and address the team.
Thank you.
Don't go anywhere, folks, as second half action is just around the corner. Welcome back. It's halftime here at Torero Stadium. We've got a tight one indeed. San Diego leads 17 points to 14 over Utah. Plenty of action in that first half. Let's have a look at some of the highlights.
Yeah, Mark, and it started right off the opening kickoff. Basically, just 2 minutes in, it was the San Diego Legion that got on the board first, and it was the prop Sione Tuilamaka that got down. They got down to make it 7-0, just like that. And the forwards again showed their mettle for the San Diego Legion team. This time it was Tony Purpura that dotted down to make it 12-0. Just about 10 minutes into the contest. But as we said in that first half, the Warriors, they had a lot of fight in them as well. Ben Nichols, a little scrum half with a big pass, but here he dots down to give the first try in MLR history for the Utah Warriors, scored by the scrum half, 12-7. And then the number 8, right off a scrum again after a lot of pressure by this Warrior squad. They took the lead at 14-12. And then after about 30 phases of possession, the quick pass out by Leader and Devin Short, just a youngster, 19 years old. You talked about him in the pregame. And again, we thought the ball was lost at this point, but the referee's still playing advantage. And then it goes out wide. That little flick by Leader here, I really like this. This is what got Devin Short around that end. As you saw the Warrior defender kind of cut back inside, able to hit the pylon and make it 17-14.
Well, don't go anywhere, as we can expect plenty more action like that was in the first half in just a jiffy. See the locals out in droves here at Torero Stadium. It's a beautiful day in Southern California, and plenty of action next week in round 3. Folks, you're going to want to watch every single game, including Austin versus New Orleans. San Diego take on Houston, and of course Utah playing Glendale, the tournament leaders at the moment, across all the networks, including ESPN Plus. I'd like to take this opportunity. It's a very sad day for local rugby, as one of the local officials, R. Scott Wood, passed away this week. You can see he leaves a daughter. Very sad day. Our thoughts and prayers are with the family. And we'll be back for second half kickoff in just a moment. Welcome back, viewers, to beautiful Torero Stadium here in San Diego. We have a very closely fought encounter. Nobody's in the driver's seat just yet, despite San Diego holding on to a narrow lead, 17 points to 14 over the visitors, the Utah Warriors. I'm Mark Stabina, and joining me in the commentary booth on the edge of our seats in the first half, Brian Vizard.
And it's been a pretty evenly contested game, I think, Mark. You know, we saw the Legion with the advantage early on, then the Warriors, but overall, I think equal number of threats from both these teams. We've seen some good open play, some enterprising play, but it's been a real battle of the forwards, I think. And with the Legion scoring 2 off their scrum early on, and then the Warriors, because of all that forward pressure, resulted in 2 more. But it was that last play at the end of the first half, again, multiple phases that the Legion capitalized on, scoring that ball in the corner. I mean, that's got to be a pretty big lift. And, you know, the Warrior team, we saw them regroup. We saw them regroup in their try zone throughout the halftime. So they're going to be coming out ready for battle as well in the second half. So, again, I'm looking forward to the second 40 minutes of rugby. It should be fantastic.
As am I, Brian. Mentioned that try for San Diego was so crucial. It looked like the Warriors were fighting back and had swung momentum in their favor. only for the Legion to regain the lead. And we are underway in this second half, folks, of round 2, game 3 of the Major League Rugby competition. Marath puts it on to toe, just bounces before going out. So it will be the first line out of the second half to San Diego.
Yeah, and an early important moment right there. If that went another about 6 inches, it would have been out on the fly. It would have been a scrum back here for the San Diego Legion team. Now it's going to be a line out. They've done well in their line outs. Cam Dolan's been a target, so has Devin Short. They bring Short back into scrum map position here.
Blair to Rory.
Some more. Stay.
The drive.
Come on.
Drive coming from Utah now. So straight back to Augsburger for the clearing kick. Safely into the hands of Josh Anderson. Now using the width, getting back in support. Rest of the back line. Loses a couple of tackles. He is so quick. Find a Colo. Cannot let him run.
Offside
Marath
advantage.
dropping it back on the inside to one of these big men. It was Tavita Tanilao, and it'll come
No, number 8 offside.
back for a penalty. Number 8 offside. You could hear the referee
black.
call. So again, just a little ill-disciplined at times, this home team.
Yeah, and you heard Rob Hoadley just before we went down that halftime break. They're making it easy for Utah to keep that pressure on. They want to play disciplined rugby. They want to keep it in Utah's end of the field, and it's moments like that that gives coaches fits. But you mentioned David Tamilau, Tavita Tamilau. He likes to be called Vita Tamilau now. But another United States cap player wearing the 19 jersey for Utah. We're going to see subs throughout this second half, and they're going to have such an impact in a tight contest like this.
Good hands from Whippy. Picks it up toward his ankles.
No.
Balls and out, says the ref. So Utah take it through the middle. That's Corey Olsen. Now Lasike doing some forward work. Good offload to the prop, the loose head prop, Tucci. Numbers out to the right. Trying to get away is Nichols. He's brought back into the contact area. Ball spits out. Tucci laying it back. Utah looking dangerous. We know what they can do from here. They will pick and drive. The back line fanning out back to the left-hand side. They want the ball. Dummy from Nichols. He's brought down. Dolan tries to snatch the ball. Good drive from Utah. Surely they're over the line, but they're held up. Well, they are so dangerous from this zone, but great defense from San Diego.
Yeah, great defense, but again, they're putting the pressure on, and that takes a lot out of a defensive team when they just keep repelling attack after attack. We saw that in the first half. You knew they were going to keep it in tight here. They're going to go for a scrum on this.
What's the number?
We got a little talk from the referee. We got reserves coming in. I think Pat Blair's coming out. I see 17 is coming in for the for the San Diego Legion. That's Aaron Mitchell coming in at prop.
Time off.
Yeah, Blair I think is in the try zone. Yep, trying to get an equipment repair. So a little bit of a time off here. And this is probably an advantage for this Utah Warriors team. They can just resettle here, think about what they're going to do. And we saw last time when all that pressure was on the scrum, that big number 8, Ohila, picked that ball up and just waltzed right in for the second Utah try. And that's what happens when you're so keyed on that, stopping that scrum pushover. Your flankers get kind of stuck on the side, and it opens things up on the outside around the fringes, and that's what happened when he scored that try.
Good.
But another big moment for this San Diego Legion forward pack, clinging to just a 3-point lead.
There's Kenny Scott for Utah, replaced by Tamilau. And as you mentioned, Brian, Aaron Mitchell comes on for Blair. Oh no, he came on for Tulamaka. Loose head prop. I have it from a good source that he is potentially going to be drafted to the NFL this year. Aaron Mitchell.
Well, he's got a scrum to win right here before he thinks about that.
We are waiting for number 7.
Yeah, Devin Scott. Yep, just getting a little bit of repair. So it's going to be another put in. Again, the referee's safety is so vital here in these scrums. Once it goes down, he blew the whistle, ball did not go in, so it's still going to be a Utah put in.
Guys.
Big scrum now for San Diego in defense.
Let's go, boys.
Utah trailing by 3. They will be looking for 7.
Bye.
Yeah, don't be surprised to see a scrum mover on that right-hand side if the scrum stops at all. Here's Nichols, though. Good job.
He gets it away. At the back to Whippy. Gets it through. Bats it down. Looks like it was knocked forward. And he'll bring it back from Nguyen. In fact, it's a penalty. The referee deems that as an intentional knockdown, not a intercept attempt.
And Nguyen, got to be careful he didn't kick that ball any further away. Boy, this is really close. It looked like the back of his hand. There's that long pass out. You could see what he's trying to do, just tap it up to himself. Yeah, it's just going to be a straight knock-on. Oh, wait a minute. It's going to be a put into the Legion, so maybe it did go backwards and he just blew the whistle prematurely. Realized the mistake was made, maybe got a little help from the air on this side. But it's going to be a Legion put in here. Big moment in the game.
Try-saving moment, in fact.
Boy, if Nguyen would have taken that ball down cleanly. Look out, folks. He still has enough gas to cover that 90 meters.
It's what the crowd would love to see. Nguyen in full flight. We haven't seen it in this game yet. This could be the moment right now. Nguyen into space, looks inside, and it's intercepted by Nichols. Just got in between Nguyen and his support. Well done from the young man. Marath drops it back on the inside. Whippy still going. Whippy just throws a low pass, can't be contained. In fact, will result in a knock-on. Unable to capitalize on the turnover there, Utah, but what about Nguyen in space?
Yeah, we just talked about his speed. He still has it. It would have been nice if he threw a little dummy there, because that Joe Nichols was in such perfect position. That pass had to be perfect.
I'm here.
But then the Legion got the favor return to them with kind of a sloppy pass by Jared Whippy. I think that's the second one we've seen a little bit lackadaisical. But that was a nice switch back inside from Cam Dolan to Nguyen. That really got this Legion on the front foot. Look at that, perfectly timed. And then Nguyen able to get past Nichols, but he did well. He covered that supporting runner. And that's when he stepped right in front of that pass to Augsburger. You see the frustration by Nguyen. But again, good to see Taku stretch out his legs again.
Augsburger, the captain, feeds. And Utah back on top at scrum time.
No.
No.
Wow.
Tap, yes, no. Referee doesn't like it. It'll come back.
And that's not only a penalty, that's painful. You see Pat Blair and COC Mahoney on the floor getting repairs.
I can't let you play quickly if there is a scrum collapse.
And you know,
Sorry,
with
guys.
Nguyen on the loose like that, it reminds you of that World Cup moment when he tore past Brian Habana, who was the top winger in the world at the time. So still has a little bit of gas in those jets.
I just want a presence. Something that the referee said to one of the Utah players. He said, I cannot let you go quickly or tap the ball and go when there is a collapse scrum. So concern for safety from the referee. That's great officiating from him.
He's had a pretty good game. There's another sloppy ball by Utah, but they're able to corral it.
Nichols for Utah. Uhila, try scorer in the first half. Marath finds the winger coming in. Vainikolo, he's dangerous, still going Vainikolo up to the 22. Gets the ball away. And that was knocked on. Just a little back pass from Vainikolo, then knocked on from Josh Anderson.
Well, wouldn't you love to see somebody come on the inside off of Vainikolo? I mean, he is so dangerous. We've seen him cut across field so many times in this game. But that's that when you cut back inside, maybe Anderson taking that pass back inside. Well, the referee, there's the knock right there out of Anderson's hand.
This quite often happens sometimes. You see Anderson coming in expecting just to support in the tackle, wasn't expecting the pass. but Vainikolo popped it out, and again, just a little miscommunication. And a bit of a let-off for San Diego, quite frankly.
Yeah, they've dodged a bullet a few times here in this match. On occasion, the Utah Warriors have put a lot of pressure on that 5-meter line. Oh, there's a good scrum by the Warriors. Cam Dolan does well, though, to get that ball back for his side.
Go ahead! Line!
Legion holding on to a narrow lead. Augsburger
Go. 1 and 4.
back for leader.
No black, no! 4 and 3 black.
It's a nice kick from him. Anderson throws a quick line out. Gets it into Lauti. Keeps hold of the ball. Back down to the short side. As the Utah players get themselves back in attack. Using the back line now. Vainikolo. He's dangerous.
Go ahead, black.
Still with Utah. Flat pass to the replacement.
Away,
Tanalau.
black.
Back to the open side. Finds a flat runner in Tucci. He's had a couple of nice touches in this second half. Tucci.
Go ahead, black.
Gets it away to Whippy. Numbers to the right. Rath attacks the line. Finally gets it away to the scrum half again. A little disorganized at the moment. Utah, as they knock the ball on. Well, strong defense from San Diego, but as I said just now, starting to lose their way, it seems, Utah in attack.
A couple of try-saving tackles, I think, though, by the Legion. I mean, it looked like they made a couple of clean breaks almost, but just held on. And Brian Mattias made a good defensive play that forced that knock on there. As Mahoney's slow to get up, a referee has a stoppage in play. But again, Mark, both sides at times it looks so dangerous. But then it's that last pass. You know, still early season maybe. You know, as they get on into the season, I think those mistakes are going to dissipate a bit. But we're just showing maybe that last pass. When DeGuenya had that break here, maybe hang on to that ball, set that ruck for your forwards to come on and support. And then Utah, time and time again, we've seen them make that break, but it's that last pass that just a little bit careless with.
Absolutely right, Brian. Sometimes that is just a little bit of panic.
And let's go back to talking about Alf Daniels in pregame. I mean, he said that he coached a lot of these guys, the Whippy boys, Lasiki, and then there was the Elkington twins that aren't on this traveling squad, but all 5 of those players played for him way back when at George's College in Hamilton, New Zealand.
Was it Church?
Church's College in Hamilton, New Zealand. And now it's almost full circle, you know, back here coaching the boys, and it's got to be a great feeling for him. And it was really nice of him to spend some time with us. And, you know, we want to get to know these MLR teams and know their coaches and, you know, talk about these players. Let's learn a little bit more about them. And, you know, it's up to the coaches and the managers to give us that information so we can pass it on to all the fans that, as you see these MLR crowds continue to grow. Seattle, they've already sold out 3 of the 5 home games I think they've had. Even in the rain, they come out in support of that team, and they had a really close game, even though they lost to Glendale yesterday. But you see what kind of team they have.
Set.
You're right, Brian. These are stars of USA Rugby.
On my side. Come on, you
Some of these young players are stars of international rugby of the future. What a wonderful platform for them to sharpen their tools.
You don't hear a lot of laughs in scrums too often, but the referee had a nice little quip there. I think that alleviated some of the tension by these forward packs.
Crutch.
She had a good game, the ref.
Bind. Set.
Oh, that shove. That's a beautiful shove by the Warriors. Just blast that scrum apart. Nate Augsburger taking on the big man.
You unbind and you will.
Yep, now it's crunch time for the Legion. They know, the Utah Warriors know now they have the upper hand in the scrum. So anytime you see a penalty down close, you're going to see a scrum called from this Utah Warriors squad. And look at the drive, just straight ahead. And again, when you're on the ground and they just trample right over you, I tell you, you get the full arm penalty, you also get a lot of pain. And that confidence is taking a bit of a hit these last couple of scrums for the Legion. And now Marath is trying to tie this ball game up. He's kicked the ball well in this game.
Guys, back, please.
You really can't afford to give Kurt Morath opportunities like this. I mean, even nearly 40 metres out, such a lovely kicker of the ball. Shouldn't be too tough for him at all. This kick to level the score. Morath. Crowd like it, which means he missed it because it is the home crowd that cheered for that one. So Morath unable to capitalize.
And once again, the Legion let off the hook. That's the last 2 or 3 scrums. The Warriors have really taken it to them. So look for this San Diego Legion team. If they're going to go set piece, they're going to want to go lineouts here. As we see a replacement, Lance Lemprek has come in for COOC Mahoney wearing that 4 jersey. So 20 comes on, 4 goes off for the Legion. Getting some fresh legs in there. And you see a lot of these players, they know each other pretty well from rep play, from college days, from club days. So, and Mahoney gets a really nice hand for about 53 minutes of hard work. And now Leader restarts play here for the Legion.
It's a long kick from Leader, fly half, placing Ben Seamer, who's on the bench today. It's a big, don't argue, from Tamalau. Morath finding Vainicolo, nice flat pass to the fullback, Lauti. Pops it up now to Whippy. Securing the ball out wide was the back line. Tupelotu still going. Supported by Matt Jensen. Nichols wants it. Slow ball for Morath. As the San Diego defense races up. Getting around the corner is Morath. The ball misses him straight to Uhila, the vice captain. Out to the open. Tamalau. Strong tackle. Took 3 to bring him down. To the open side with Jensen again. Some great individual tackling at the moment from San Diego. Ball gets away. Whippy just can't quite get it to his man as Nguenya brings it back for the Legion. Augsburger knew he had space. The fullback wasn't there, but it was tapped back and it's play on. Here goes Saliba. Will he go all the way? He will. Saliba. Anthony Saliba, the 23-year-old Cal Berkeley student, scores for the home team. What an individual effort from him.
Well, I think you got to give a little credit to JP Duplessis as well. He tapped that ball back. It was charged down when Augsburger tried to kick it over the top. But Duplessis with a real heads-up play. He saw Saliba on his inside, just swatted it to him, his center teammate. There's the charge down, but watch the heads-up play here. Just the swat back. He saw his center, and then it was just clear sailing for Saliba. Had one man to beat, had Joe Nichols to beat, and Lance Williams on the trailer, but good speed that time by Anthony Saliba. And I tell you, the San Diego Legion, they needed that try.
As I mentioned before, Brian, Anthony Saliba has been in the thick of the action. He's had plenty of touches. So good to see that finally one of those resulting in a 5-pointer as tag leader adds the extras for San Diego. This crowd has come back to life after a little flat period of play.
There's a great look at Saliba, father involved with rugby for a long, long time as well. We've got a couple of changes for the Warriors. Alex Vorster has come on into that front row.
Okay, perfect. When you want.
Kurt Morath now. Warriors find themselves 10 points adrift.
Knock on, advantage.
Great run from short.
Advantage over.
Down to Lauti. Long pass into Marath. He shapes to kick, sends it high.
Okay.
That'll be safely taken by Leader. See how good this chase is from Utah. Not too bad at all as Leader is brought down.
Line.
Some messy ball and slow. Augsburger has to dig in. There's the replacement, Mitchell, who spins, sets the play up for San Diego. Augsburger with yet another box kick straight to Vainikolo. He shapes up, looks to run himself. He is dangerous, still going. Utah now, same way for them. Marath takes it to the line.
Line.
No options to speak of. This is where they tend to lose a little bit of shape. Marath needs to take control of these troops. Tucci, he's held up. It's a maul now. Could be a turnover for San Diego as the reinforcements come in from Utah. The ball goes to ground and it is wrapped up, so it will be a turnover.
Great defense that time by the San Diego Legion. There was 3 or 4 guys who's going to come up with it. And it was Duplessis that came away with it. Nate Augsburger gets up slow. Herpera gets up as well. And look at that. Look at little Nate Augsburger in the middle of all that. You can hardly see him. But he's just fighting like crazy to keep that ball up in the air and helps earn his San Diego Legion team a scrum here. I thought there was an earlier option when he kicked the ball away. I thought maybe keep it in hand. There was 3 or 4 guys out on this right flank. But let's see what the Legion can do here. You got Nguyen one-on-one on this outside, on the right side of this scrum. We haven't really seen Ryan Mattias able to stretch his legs in this contest. Again, him and Augsburger and Ordsley all coming back from injury, and you could tell they're really fired up to get into this contest. They've all played a major role here. There you see the little captain, Nate Augsburger. Old Blue New York, played for them for a number of years.
Can't quite see on your screen, Brian, but wouldn't it be nice to see Nguyen here with a one-on-one versus Vainikolo as the scrum wheels and drives, comes up for Utah. It's a penalty.
Heading across.
Illegal scrummaging is the call against
Number
the Utah Warriors. Alex
across.
Tucci is called for that. A scrum infringement.
1 gray.
And that's another big break for this San Diego Legion team. You got to scrum straight on. You can already see the turn. I think he might have had a little help from the assistant referee on this side, who had a much better angle on it. But it's gonna. Let's see. Are the Legion going for poles here? I think they are. Yeah, they announced that they're going for the goalpost here, trying to add 3 more. But when you're scrummaging, you got to be straight on. You cannot turn your shoulders at all in those scrums.
Yes.
Referee will ping you every time.
Water break. Yes.
Always a safety issue.
Great on. Prepare to you the water break just after the kick.
So tag leader.
Water break.
Tag leader now to put the Legion out to 27 points to 14. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Time off. Water break. Water break. Radon. Radon. PK. Statistic. PK.
Not yet. Welcome back to Torero Stadium in San Diego. San Diego lead Utah 24 points to 14. It's a cliffhanger here at Torero Stadium. A couple of breaks in play, but plenty of action. I'm Mark Stabina. Brian Visit, who joins me in the commentary box. What's your take so far on the second half?
Well, you know, I think the Legion actually are lucky to be up by 10. I mean, they scored that one try, but it was almost against the run of play. It seems like the more threatening team has been the Warriors, but they just haven't been able to finish the opportunities they've had. We see the excellent individual talent they have on this squad, but you got to give credit to the Legion defense. They've been really staunch throughout most of this contest. Pat Blair has really put in a lot of work in the 60 minutes that he's been in, and we're in that number 2 jersey for the Legion.
Kurt Marath for the Warriors.
That's good.
Restarts after the water break. Now, Whippy loses the ball in the tackle. That is very uncharacteristic from Jared Whippy.
Well, you see, that's what you do. A good teammate will give him encouragement. Yeah, the breaks haven't gone Whippy's way. That's 2 or 3 that he's coughed up when it looks like the Utah Warriors were going to do some good things with it. But again, he and his brother Josh have had a long and really decorated career for being so young. Both BYU players. They just graduated this past Friday, so congratulations to them. That's another reason why the parents are in town.
Phenomenal sevens players as well. Strong scrum again from Utah.
See, and you use those scrums as weapons. That's exactly what Seattle did last week to the Legion, and that's exactly what the Warriors are doing now. If you're San Diego Legion, you get to get that ball in and out of those scrums as fast as you can. And now it's going to give this opportunity here for the Utah Warriors to kick it down deep, put some pressure on the Legion. And again, they're still looking forward to finishing it off. And watch the pressure in that front row. You can see Pat Bear popping again out of there, just like that cork we saw in the first half. But this time they get pinged for it. And now getting the fresh legs on. Whippy's going to the sideline. And so is Corey Olson.
Yeah, I go. Wait.
Looks like Paki Afu has come on wearing the 22 jersey. Oh, there's Jensen over the top. Tamalau does well to clean.
Forster gets it in. That's a better line out.
Away, sweet black. Line.
Utah now. Quick hands of the tight head prop, McClellan.
Line.
See the San Diego defense getting around the corner. Strong running, but equally strong defense. Trying to dig in. There's Nichols. Slow ball again for Utah. Just picking and driving.
Away, black, don't move.
Which is very strong, effective part of their game.
Away, black.
Slow ball yet again. Nichols points, finds Marath, who then finds Afu. Same way for Utah. Finacolo. Short pass to Lasike, the captain.
Advantage.
Advantage being played by the referee. Back to the middle. There's Tucci. He's been everywhere.
Number 10, not running away.
Not rolling away was the number 10 for San Diego. Again, ill-discipline. Be interesting to see what Utah choose to do here.
Well, they're down by 10. Yep, they're going to go for goal push. You have to score 10 points, so a penalty kick here will make it a 7-point game. So a converted try would be the difference at that point. They've done a really good job at the Legion in corralling Lasike. I mean, he is such a big man in the midfield. He's had a head of steam on a couple of occasions, but Salibur has done really well, taking him on one-on-one on a number of occasions. That last penalty against Leader, he was just too lazy getting away. He rolled that one extra time in the tackle. The referee had no problem pinging him for this full arm. So here's Utah trying to make it just a one-score game. 15 minutes left in this contest, folks. Still a lot to play for. Anybody's game. Ref missed that last one, Mark, when could have narrowed that gap.
It's more or less in front as well, Brian. Slight angle on this one, but it is his favourite side, being a right footer. Bring it around into the posts from right to left, or just nail it straight on. That's exactly what he's done. Kurt Morath adds 3 points to Utah's tally. And now they are within a converted try of the hosts, the San Diego Legion.
One more substitution for the San Diego Legion. Derek Broussard has come on. And I think it's Devin Short that's come off, yeah. See, he gets a nice clap on the back, put in a lot of work for a 65-minute effort. Just 19 years old, huh? Scored that try early on, or right at the half. He'd get that important try for the Legion. But he comes off, and the coaches, they obviously want fresh legs for these last 15 minutes.
Tag leader sends it high and puts the number 17, Hafoka, under pressure. A great chase, and now San Diego once again come to life.
Yeah, Salibar and Duplessis again combined to put the pressure on. It might have been McClellan that knocked that ball on, I'm not exactly sure, but it results in another scrum here. Oh, it was Alex Vorster that came in, the replacement front rower. Not even got it right there, did I? It's
Hafoka.
Yeah, Hafoka, Micah Hafoka just came in that 17 jersey. And again, in and out, if you're a San Diego Legion, you got to get this ball in. You do not want to have that ball stuck in the scrum and have another penalty. Yeah, there's Dolan. He can reach into that scrum nowadays. And there's, I like that. Nate Augsburger with a little show, that little kick over the top. Pat Blair getting close.
San Diego, a meter out. Papura. Augsburger at the back. Hands it to a flat-footed replacement, Broussard. As they're driven back past the 5-meter line, Augsburger generaling his troops. And it is a penalty. So piling on the pressure now, San Diego.
This might be a yellow card. That was just a terrible penalty.
Your player have to give their self control on the 22 area, okay? Sure. When they arrive here, they make fault and fault. So be careful about that, because next time you know what will happen.
Yeah, next time it's going to be a yellow card. I mean, that was a real pedantic penalty for the Utah Warriors. Leader's going to go for the touch. This worked in the first half, had a couple of tries off the line out. 5-meter line out here for the United States. They still have their big man, Cam Dolan, a big target. Devin Short is out. They used him on occasion.
Go on the line, go on the line.
But this would be a big moment if the San Diego Legion could drive over for a try. There's only about 14 minutes left in this game.
Here come the Legion. Bringing down the line out now for the drive. Ball goes to ground, bobbles around at the back, and it was knocked on at the back, so they have lost possession. Oh no, San Diego.
Knock on black.
Yeah, both teams having a little bit of trouble finishing off the opportunities when they have them down deep. You saw Cam Dolan look at the AR. He thought there might have been an offside penalty right here.
I come on this side.
The referee said no. It was just a knock-on by the San Diego Legion, so it's going to be a put in now for the Warriors. We got a replacement at scrum half. Joe Nichols is out, and Ben Nichols has come in wearing the 21 jersey. So we can easy call, just Nichols again at scrum half position.
Set.
Nichols for Nichols. Augsburger comes around. Cheeky scrum half, and he has earned the penalty for his team. Wonderful pressure.
Yeah, I think it was Derek Broussard who just came in wearing the 19 jersey. Yeah, they're going to go back to that line out, I think. They took it down nicely. That's great. When you come in as a reserve and you make an impact like that immediately, especially in a key moment of the game, and watch the positioning of his body. There's Broussard in the 19. Look at how he just gets that ball perfect on the legs.
6 at 6.
And just a perfect position. He had the hands on the ball, and the referee no option but to call the penalty against Utah. So great play by Broussard.
great tackle from Augsburger, the captain, to set up that opportunity for Broussard, just chasing the number 8 round the corner at the back of the scrum as the Legion now have the ball 5 metres out from the line. Advantage being played by the referee, Augsburger. Into Duplessis. He's been a little quiet this second half. Leader puts it for the cross-corner kick. What a beautiful try! And you said before we haven't seen much of Matthias. Well, hasn't he turned up at the right time?
Oh man, that was a beautiful kick by Leader too. Look at, there's the two that combine on that. Yeah, Matthias is giving the props to the kicker, Leader. What a perfect position. Plus they had the advantage. This is when you do it. Leader just weighed his options. What a beautifully weighted kick behind Josh Anderson. And Ryan Matthias at full tilt just picked that ball out of the air to dot down to widen the lead. A little bit of breathing room now for the San Diego Legion, but that was a classic try. I love that.
It was as if that ball was on a string. So we have some more replacements coming in for the Legion. Ben Seema looks like he's coming on to replace Leader after that beautiful kick leading to the try. And also Gil Covey for Pat Blair, 25 years old. Gil Covey, local lad as well, came through the youth system, the Mustangs.
Yeah, good hand for both these guys. They had a lot to do. Pat Blair did a lot of dirty work. We didn't mention his name a heck of a lot of times, but he came up by the bottom of those rucks many, many times. And that conversion from the line. Ben Seema just comes in the game.
It's actually Audsley, I believe.
Yeah, Dylan Audsley. That's good though. Dylan Audsley, he can kick from anywhere as well. They got talented kickers up and down this lineup. Ben Seema can kick, Dylan Audsley can kick, and we saw what Leader could do.
It's a knock on. No, it's just a knock on, classical.
There was a knock on against the Legion on that
great
kick. I think it was Cam Dolan that got
it's not deliberate.
Thing for the knock. So let's take another look at it.
I come with you guys.
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure if there was a knock there. It looked like a Utah player that got a hand back. But I think they said it was Jay Harmon that had a big mid on it.
Guess who was there to clean things up? 13 for San Diego, Saliva.
Yeah, he's been all over, scored that real key try for this Legion team. That's good scrum, boy, the Warriors.
What can they do now, the Utah Warriors? Remember, this is their first game of the MLR. They had a bye last week. Very encouraging outing for them for their first game, their first professional rugby game in the US as the Utah Warriors. Now they bring it up to the 22-meter line. Tucci, long floating pass all the way to Vanakola, steps off the left again. Still going, but Nguyen finally brings him down. Tucci again. Surely, oh, and he's lost it. He's lost it. I was just about to give him a compliment. I'm going to withhold that.
Yeah, Jay Harmon, I think, had a big paw in there as well. That knocked that ball free. And Matthias continues to encourage his forwards. And once again, they just cannot finish the Warriors. You can see the individual talent these guys have. Some big, hard runners, some nice long passes they have, some very crafty running in loose play, but they just haven't been able to finish. And you can see the optimism that Alf Daniels has in his squad. I mean, why not? They got some really gifted ball players.
Brian, I just have to give some praise to the San Diego defense. We know how big and strong these runners are for Utah. And they haven't really been given, you know, much of an opportunity. They've been stopped in their tracks. They've reached the advantage line every now and then, but we haven't seen too many line breaks from those big men, and you have to hand it to the San Diego defense.
And I agree, and Duplessis and Salibar, especially in that midfield, and it's not like these big guys are just starting from flat-footed. I mean, some of these are heads of steam going right at the line, and they've been able to repel them. Sometimes they get a little help from a teammate, but you're right, Mark, they've done a really good job preventing those line breaks by this really potent Utah attack.
Fine.
You can see that the captain for Utah, Lasike, is Definitely used as a weapon. He has been neutralized today. As Utah with the ball, Vainikolo. Speaking of big men, Afu comes in for a run. Stopped in his tracks. McClellan gets a touch. Same way for Utah. Inside pass. Just brought down by Harmon. Good tackle from Harmon, but it will come back for a penalty.
Wait me. Captain.
If this is more than a talking to, this could be a big blow. Just bringing the captain over. Let's listen to hear what he says.
When the great team arrive on the 22 meter, your team make a lot of faults, so they have to be disciplined. Yes, you understand me. This time it was the number 22.
Just wants a warning.
Offside.
I mean, as long as it's just a warning at this point. But again, you know this Utah team is going to continue to put the pressure on. That was against Ben Sema. Don't be surprised if this Utah team elects to go for a penalty here, or a scrum down rather, on this full arm penalty.
Are you okay? We have a substitution, guys. Yes. Time off, substitution.
Don Potty, been around for a long time, US Sevens player,
okay?
played at the University of Utah for many, many years, a really talented player. He comes on at the fullback position, replacing
Penalty for you, and they take a scrum.
Lati. Another one of those runners who
Scrum.
can really find a lot of open territory. And see, no surprise here, Utah goes for that scrum.
You picked it, Bryant.
Crutch.
Ben Nichols,
Fine.
Zimbabwean international.
Set. No.
Short arm penalty. Nichols will go quick. Still going, Nichols. Looks for the line. Brought down. He finally reaches that arm out and he scores. San Diego need to be careful here. If they can get the conversion, they are within a converted try. And Marath takes it quickly. So Utah bring the score back within a converted try.
Yeah, heads up play by Nichols. I thought they were going to repack it, but Nichols just takes off, sees a gap in that defense, and again, just grounds that ball against the base of the poles. That's legal, and that's a try awarded.
On the board or no?
Right on that goalpost pad. Perfect try. Conversion is good, just 7 points now. And what do we got, about 4 minutes left in this match? And you see the San Diego Legion, they're in no hurry to get up to this line. Once that kick gets underway, though, they have to run hard, because you know this Utah team is going to come throw everything at him in the last couple of minutes.
31 points, Blaze 24. The Legion, the home team, are leading by one converted try.
9.
Utah fight back.
Taken back.
They have space and numbers and fresh legs as well. Putty brought
Away,
down
9
just
back.
outside his 22-meter
9.
line.
Taken back.
And Mark, this one's so key here for the San Diego Legion team. I think they forced a turnover.
Knock on great.
Wow. Just a little bit more careless handling by this Utah squad. You see the frustration by some of the players when that ball squirted free, but that was a huge defensive play by the Legion. Once again, you said the defense for this Legion team probably the key for the victory here against this Utah Warriors squad, and I gotta back you up on that. I think they've been really, really good. I'm not sure how many knock-ons the Warriors had, but they've all been pretty much forced knock-ons by that defense. Yeah, huge scrum here. Cam Dolan, remember, number 8 can reach in the scrums now and grit that ball out.
Bye.
And you can be sure that he's going to do all he can to get that ball in and out.
Scrum wheels quickly.
Well, you know what that does? It takes about another 20 seconds off the clock. So the San Diego Legion isn't, and look at, they're just kind of standing around loitering. If you're Utah, you're pack and bound. You want to get the referee influence to get them going here. Yeah, just tick, tick, tick.
Tick-tock, you're right, absolutely. You see that clock just ticking down. In no hurry at all, this San Diego team.
Crunch.
Yeah, they just have to play smart, run out this clock, a couple of quick pick and drive, maybe with the forward pack. Okay, that's a much better
short
scrum.
side. We've got Augsburger, and now Nguyen kicks it straight to Vainikolo. This could be dangerous. He's brought down. Numbers out to the right if they can just swing it. Marath finds the big man. Afu tough to bring down. The ball dislodges and it's gone forward in the process. So we talk about that defense at the contact area, just ripping the ball. They're not happy with it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that went forward. Referee got in pretty good position there, but the kick by Nate Augsburger, I think ill-advised at that point. That's when you just want your forwards to run out the clock a little bit, do some pick and drives, kill those last 10 seconds. I think it's going to work here. There's only about 10 seconds left in the game. Let's see if this ball goes forward or not. Well, not unless the trailer knocked that ball on, because the initial ball carrier did not knock that ball on.
30 seconds more. Crutch. Bind. Set.
Well, here's one last chance. Oh my, you thought it was going to come to this. Now Utah, they got the full arm.
Oh. Edge of the seat stuff here at Torero Stadium.
No head. Line.
Utah Warriors, they have a chance to equalize. They need a converted try. Morath finds some space, finds another big man. There's so many big men out there wearing grey jerseys. Plenty to choose from as they line up out to this left-hand side. Here comes Havoka. Now Morath. Wide pass out. They've got some numbers here, and they might just use it. Here comes some fresh legs in Putty. He's brought down by Augsburger. What a tackle. That could be a game saver. No, they maintain possession. Utah still. Plenty of pressure coming in defensively. Can they hold on to the ball? San Diego are going to want to upset this possession and turn it over. Otherwise, Utah could easily score and equalize. No one at scrum half. Counter ruck comes in. They might have turned it over. Ball's gone forward, it has, and that will be the game and the victory to the home team, the San Diego Legion. What an amazing effort and what a fantastic spectacle here today in Torero Stadium, San Diego. We're going for a short break. Don't go anywhere, folks, for Man of the Match coming up.
He has to come here.
Major League Rugby is brought to you by Nui Social. Warrior fans, it's time to rock and roll with Nui and get on your way to financial freedom. Go to nui.social for more info. Proud partner of the Utah Warriors. And by Intermountain Sports Medicine. Healthcare how, where and when you want it. Intermountain Sports Medicine, healingforlife.com. Proud partner of the Utah Warriors. And Big D Construction, providing unparalleled construction management design build, and general contracting services for 50 years is proud to sponsor the Utah Warriors. And we have the man of the match for Knockaround Sunglasses. We've got Anthony Saliba with us. You're joining us, Anthony. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Well, Anthony, fantastic game. Congratulations on your performance and the team's. In your words, what was the difference between today's performance and last week with your loss against Seattle?
Well, we really had our forwards put in a tough week of practice, and I think we really saw it pay dividends this week. We all just tightened up our pattern of play, and we're really starting to come together as a team. It's kind of hard when you start coming, first year of the league, boys coming together, but it's starting to show now. We're really getting excited.
And Anthony, how about that try? It kind of came out of nowhere. You saw that tap down by Duplessis. Did you know it was going to come your way?
No, but when you see that opportunity, you got to take and run with it. I thought I was going to have to offload, but I had great support coming down, and it was a great play.
Well, Anthony, fantastic performance. You were absolutely everywhere today. Thanks so much for your time. Go in, enjoy the victory, and especially your performance, and all the best next week.
Appreciate it. Go Legion.
Wow, Anthony Saliba there. Fantastic performance from him, and as he mentioned, the defensive effort of his team and his forward pack. We have highlights of the match now. Brian, visit.
Yeah, it started, just a couple of minutes in when the big prop, Sione Talamaka, got that try, and then the other prop, Tony Purpura, dotted down as well. But there was some highlights as well. I think that passage just at the end of the half, that first half when Devin Short scored that try. Here's that tap back once again that went down to Saliba. The combination of Duplessis and Saliba in the center is really good on defense. Created that big try for them, and that was kind of almost the clincher you felt. But this was the prettiest try of the day. That weighted kick over to Ryan Maddie is perfectly timed from leader. Yeah, you can tell when that works, it's beautiful. But I tell you, they made it a little difficult for themselves with a couple of things at the end. There was Ben Nichols scoring that try to make it just a one-try game, but the defense again able to hold them off.
And looking ahead to next week in live Major League Rugby action, it's week 3 with Austin taking on New Orleans, San Diego taking on Houston, and Utah Warriors will take on Glendale. You can see them across all networks, including ESPN+. Well, it's been a fantastic day. That about wraps it up for round 2 of this Major League Rugby competition from Torero Stadium in San Diego, with San Diego emerging victors over Utah. Thank you all for joining us. On behalf of Brian Visit and the entire production crew, I'm Mark Stabina, wishing you a good night and see you next week for round 3 of Major League Rugby.